What's going on, everyone? So next player I want to talk about is Cam Reddish, right? Going through all of the players on this roster as we get closer to training camp. And I really believe Cam Reddish could be a bit of the secret weapon for the Lakers. This is a guy that has all the tools, all the intangibles, everything you need to be a great player. I mean, I'm talking great player. I'm not saying maybe, top 10 player or superstar or anything like that, but be one of the better players in the entire league. This is a guy that was believed coming into the league, was a top 10 pick out of Duke that many believed was going to be the next two-way perimeter player. Next Paul George type player. A guy with great size, 6'8", 7'1" wingspan, hyper athletic, could play both sides of the basketball, could put the ball in the hoop and create plays for himself, create plays for others, and be a real dynamic guy. And in my opinion, I just believe Cam Reddish hasn't really gotten the opportunity to really thrive and shine the way that it was perceived he would when he first came in the league. Now, he was drafted by Atlanta and right out the gate was very good for Atlanta as soon as he came in, right? His first year, he played just under 27 minutes per game. He got 9.5 shot attempts and gave you 10 points, 4 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 1.1 steals, and half a block. Again, as a 20-year-old rookie, that is very good, right? That is very good for a 20-year-old rookie. And then Atlanta goes, they make the conference finals, and then they kind of push the chips to the table, kind of go all in, and Cam Reddish kind of falls out of favor, and then ultimately ends up going and getting traded to the New York Knicks. Problem with getting traded to the New York Knicks is Tibbs wanted nothing to do with Cam Reddish. He didn't want Cam Reddish. He didn't like the idea of Cam Reddish. He told them not to trade for Cam Reddish. And guess what? The Knicks still traded for Cam Reddish. And then immediately tried to turn around and trade him to the Lakers. The Lakers had a 3-team deal with the Knicks, the Raptors, and the Lakers that would have netted them Cam Reddish. And the Knicks, right before the paperwork was going to get signed, decided we want more. We want to get more than we gave up for him. And instead of basically just kind of breaking even, and it turns out that deal falls through. Lakers again try to trade for Cam Reddish. The deal falls through. And then he ends up going to Portland. And in Portland, he jumps back up to just a hair shy of 28 minutes per game. Gives you 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.2 steals, and again, 0.3 blocks. So got right back to where he was off, right? Given the opportunity, look, this guy could thrive, this guy could shine. And now he is finally officially a Laker. And that is something that I have wanted for years now. I've been hoping the Lakers would go and grab Cam Reddish, and they didn't even have to trade for him. They were able to sign him, and they got a very good, low-risk, high-reward type deal. But to be fair, right, I just defended Cam Reddish. It's time to talk about the cons, right? One of the big concerns and one of the big things about Cam Reddish is his work ethic. And that even going back to Duke, that he wasn't a guy that was willing to put in the work and the effort to improve his game and become better and kind of fit within an offense, right? That he kind of could be lazy at times, kind of be a little bit of a problem, and kind of felt like he didn't need to put in the efforts in order to reach the heights and potential that he could have, which is one of the reasons Tibbs didn't want him, right? He didn't want a guy that was perceived as like a guy that doesn't like to work hard, that doesn't really like to do anything, right? That is okay with just being on the basketball court and getting his paycheck. Here's the thing, though. All we have seen this offseason, more than any season, at least that I remember, and maybe I'm wrong, but we haven't seen the videos, and part of it could be that he's on the Lakers now, so they get the attention more than, in Atlanta or anything like that. But this dude has been this dude's been in the gym nonstop. We have seen a ton of Rui Hachimura. We have seen a ton of Jared Vanderbilt in the gym. You know who else we've seen a ton of? Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish has been in the gym nonstop. He's been doing scrimmage runs. He has been working on his game, and that is massive. Another sort of con is injuries, right? He's been a bit of an injury issue. He's been a guy that's had trouble staying on the court. If he can stay healthy and stay on the court, then I think he's going to have a huge impact for the Lakers. This is a guy that can basically play the 2 through 4, can defend the 2 through 4. You could put him in a small ball 5 scenario, a guy that you can just give the ball to and allow him to go get buckets. He's still very raw, right? This is still a bit of a project guy. He's not a guy that's going to come in and give you 20 on any given night. Could he have a game here and there? Sure, of course. He's still an NBA player. But realistically, this is a guy that probably give you like 10 to 12 a game, which would be nice if, again, given the opportunity, given the minutes, given the run. The issue is I don't know how much of an opportunity and how much of a run he's actually going to get for the Lakers, just because you have so many pieces. One, Anthony Davis wants to play the 4 a lot more. And then you have Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, Christian Wood, all of these guys that are more than capable of playing the 4 spot. But I believe that they'll probably play Cam Reddish at the 2 a lot. And for his whole career, he's always played the small forward position. He can easily slide to the 2. In today's NBA, the difference between the 2 guard and the 3 is nothing. You defend the best player, you defend the player in front of you, and you hit buckets. You knock down shots. It's that simple, right? He is more than capable of playing the 2 guard. Problem is that the Lakers are really high on Max Christie, and the idea is Cam Reddish and Max Christie are going to be the players that kind of duke it out for that backup 2 guard, right? So you're going to have Austin Reeves at the starting 2 guard, and then Cam Reddish is a guy that hopefully can kind of earn that 2 guard minutes behind Austin Reeves. I could even see maybe him and Max Christie kind of sharing minutes, but I don't believe he'll get 20 plus minutes a game. I could see him here and there getting 20 plus minutes, but I think more likely than not, he'll probably be around like a 12 to 15 minute a game guy. I think he gets, maybe 10 minutes a game at the 2 guard, and then gets another like 10 minutes at like the 3 here and there, sparingly. But if he's a guy that is willing to continue to put in the work that we've seen him doing, if he's a guy that is willing to reach out and talk to the vets on this team, talk to Phil Handy, have Phil Handy work with them and develop his game, this is a guy that I think could be a real piece and a real cog, not only this year, but for the foreseeable future. I hope the Lakers are able to keep Cam Reddish long term. I hope he's a guy that is hopeful to be with the Lakers long term as well, because you need both sides to do that. The one thing he hasn't had is a home. The one thing he hasn't had is a place that actually wanted him, right? Well, guess what? The Lakers have 3 times tried to trade for Cam Reddish. So clearly the Lakers have wanted him for a long time. The Lakers immediately signed him when they had the opportunity. He came to the Lakers. He was a big, exciting signing for many of us Laker fans. And then we saw them go and re-sign Rui, re-sign Vando, bring in Taurean Prince, which is good. You want the size, you want the depth, you want the versatility, right? Now, is he willing to buy in to the roles that are asked of him? He's still very young. He's 24 years old, right? We need him committed. We need him willing to understand that, hey, we're not Atlanta. We're not the Knicks who haven't won anything. We are the Lakers with LeBron James and Anthony Davis that were just in the conference finals and just put together this roster that is contending for an NBA championship, and we're looking to be the best team in the league. Some nights you're going to play 30 minutes. Some nights you're going to play 15. Some nights you might not play at all. But we need you to continue to work hard behind the scenes. We need you to play both sides of the basketball. We need you to use your tools that you have at your disposal to, when you are on the basketball court, to absolutely dominate. We need you to lock in and hone in on the defensive end and use those tools to be an elite defensive player, which he's capable of doing, and be that versatile weapon that the Lakers have in the arsenal. If he's willing to do that, he's going to thrive for the Lakers. Again, he's not going to be a guy that I think you're going to look at in this season. He's going to average, 25 and, 3 steals. I don't think it's going to be anything like that. I think more than likely he'll give you around, 8 to 10 points per game. I think he'll give you about a steal per game, give you a couple rebounds, 3-4 rebounds a game, 1 to 3 assists a game and give you maybe a block or half a block per game. I think he's a guy that'll play both sides of the basketball, but I don't think he's going to get the minutes he needs and the role and opportunity that he needs to really be like a 15-plus point a game guy. That doesn't mean that he can't be that one day. That doesn't mean that he can't be that maybe even next year, right? Like, it's very possible. And I just wonder how much the Lakers are going to utilize him, and especially come playoff time, I really think he's probably going to be the odd man out, because you're not going to run 12 to 13 guys in the playoffs. You're just not, right? So very likely once you get to the playoffs, Max Christie, Cam Reddish, and maybe even Jackson Hayes are the guys that end up kind of becoming the odd men out, and then you're running, your 8 to 9 guys. We'll see what happens, at the trade deadline or something. Do they end up moving D'Lo or what, right? Because let's say they do move D'Lo. Maybe that opens more minutes for Cam, right? Like, what if they move D'Lo for a center? Not saying that they will or that they should or anything like that, but let's say that they do make a deal. Let's say they do go, let's say they get like a Valanciunas, right? Well, and they move Reeves to the point. Well, now that opens 2 guard minutes, right? So Cam Reddish, he might end up getting that opportunity to I don't think he would start, but in that backup role, maybe he becomes the number 1 backup guy. Maybe he can kind of work his way in. Unless he's absolutely spectacular, which, again, I mean, he's shown those moments of brilliance. We have seen the games where he's just looks like he's one of the best two-way guys in the league at some points, right? But can he consistently do that? That's been the problem with him, is his inconsistencies, right? Even from just shooting the basketball. This is a guy that, for his career, is a 32% three-point shooter. That's not going to cut it. But he's had years where he was good. He had in 2021, 2022 with Atlanta, he shot 38% from 3 on 4.5 attempts. So he's capable of doing it. This is a guy that can get buckets from 2-point range. He's, 50% from 2 last few seasons. The last 4 seasons, he's been 55 to 60%, 56%. So this is a guy that can put the ball in the hoop. This is a guy that can go get buckets and defend basically anybody on the basketball court. He's got good size, good length, good athleticism, good quickness, good foot speed. He can guard the perimeter guys. He can guard smaller players, guard some of the quicker guards. This is a guy that has the versatility and potential to really be an impact for the Lakers. But I don't know how much opportunity he's going to get, which kind of sucks because I am a big fan of Cam Reddish. And I do want to see Cam Reddish thrive and shine. And I'm hoping that if it's not this year, it's at some point during his career with the Lakers, right? I hope that the Lakers are able to sign him long-term, give him a long-term contract, and he's a key fixture on this Lakers roster, whether he's starting, coming off the bench, whatever. I don't care. I hope he is. I'm totally okay with him being a huge factor. I would love, if at some point he's starting in the starting unit or whatever alongside AD, and you have maybe Christie and Reeves and Vando or Rui or whoever, right? And that's your 5. Like, I'm totally okay with that. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think of Cam Reddish? How do you feel about him? Do you like him? Love him? Do you think he's going to be great? Do you think, he's not going to get the opportunity? I have a feel whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments.